Hi, I'm Daniel Andrews, owner and creator of AndrewsFootball.com. Welcome to my 2020 NFL mock draft picks 21 through 24. We got the Eagles, the Vikings, the Patriots, and the Raiders who are trading down with the Saints. Now, if you're new and this is your first time here, let me just ask you one question. Do you like football? If so, you're in the right fucking place. So go ahead and if you haven't done it already, there's a button right around here. See it. Bam! Hit that button. Become one of the greatest people on planet Earth. Now, normally I'm not this blue, but there's something goofy with my filter. I'm just, you know what? Hey, we're going to be blue today. That's how it's going to work. So listen, let's just jump to pick number 21. The Philadelphia Eagles are on the clock. I'm going to make this fast because you have a need and you have a fit, and it's kind of rare that works out perfectly, but in this mock draft, it absolutely does. I just saw a mock draft where Patrick Queen was picked here, and that is really interesting, and I actually kind of like it, but that's not my selection. The Eagles could go corner, they could go safety, but in this mock draft, Henry Ruggs is available. Now, lots of mock drafts have him going earlier, especially at 15 to Denver. So if he's gone Denzel Mims out of Baylor, Justin Jefferson at LSU, those are options here. But in this mock draft, Henry Ruggs is available. You could also go with corner. Anton Winfield is also a possible fit here. Grant Delpit out of LSU is another one, but Ruggs is almost a Deshaun Jackson clone. So with the 21st pick in the 2020 NFL draft, Henry Ruggs, wide receiver out of Alabama, perfect fit for Philly. Deshaun Jackson clone. I don't know how much Deshaun Jackson has left in the tank, and I don't mean as a player. It's just that when you're a speed guy, you can't be fast forever. He was injured a large part of the season, so getting Ruggs as a deep threat that Jackson's not always going to be able to be. Another couple of years. So this is a great fit, but you could go in a variety of different directions. Minnesota at 22. I think what they did with getting rid of Ruggs to Buffalo is easily the trade of the century. They got so many picks for a guy who wasn't happy. I think it was a locker room cancer. This to me was an absolute steal, and you get a variety of picks, including pick number 22. They pick again at 25, and I've seen a few mock drafts where they parlay the pick, try to get up really high. I don't see that happening. To me, I think they use 22 and 25 to attack players they lost through free agency. I could see them parlaying some of the other picks to move up maybe in the second or third round. But I think 22 and 25, they're going to stay, and they could just take players that they really want. With pick 22, there's certain players that fit with certain coaches. And this guy to me just screams Mike Zimmer guy. So with the 22nd pick in the 2020 NFL draft, I got Yetur Gross-Matos. I probably butchered that. I'm sorry. Defensive end out of Penn State. Just a hunch. This is a Zimmer guy. High energy, high effort, run stuffer. Pass rusher, just he replaces Griffin day one. I absolutely love this pick. I think if he's available at 22, I think it's a plug and play guy. Just a hunch. This is a Zimmer guy. Pick number 23 is very interesting. The New England Patriots are on the clock here. Ideally, the Patriots want to trade down here. They don't have a pick in the second round, but they got 3 third round picks, no fifth round pick, but they got 4 in the 6th and 3 in the 7th. I think the Patriots are going to get extremely creative in this draft and move all over the place. But just a hunch that I think the Vikings trade really handicaps them because they're not really going to be able to trade. I think teams are really seeing the dynasty fall apart, and I think that they'll try to avoid trading with the Patriots because if you instead of let's say you want to get somewhere in 23 range, 22 Minnesota, 25 Minnesota. I think teams would much rather trade with Minnesota, who has a lot of draft picks, and just a hunch. I think teams are just going to try to avoid New England. So I think New England's going to actively try to trade down. I just don't think that they're going to get any takers. So this is a team that's lost quite a bit in free agency so far, including, Tom Brady is a quarterback in play here. It's definitely a possibility. Jacob Eason, a guy who I think might have the best arm in the draft, is an option, but just a hunch. The Patriots really kind of want a plug and play guy. And since they lost a lot in free agency, I think if they're stuck at 23, they're going to get a guy. So with the 23rd pick in the 2020 NFL draft, I got the Patriots selecting Patrick Queen, linebacker at LSU. He replaces Kyle Van Noy. If this happens, if the Patriots do take Patrick Queen at 23, if they're not able to trade down, which I really think is their first option, I think they really want to trade down. But if they are stuck at 23 and they do get Patrick Queen, he would be my first choice to be Defensive Rookie of the Year. This is a great fit for a great system. He's a little undersized, but the Patriots can work with that. This would be my Defensive Rookie of the Year if this happens. The Raiders are now on the clock at 24. I got them trading with the Saints. The Saints are going to trade up. Of course, they're going to take Jordan Love at 19. The Raiders at 24. Are next on the list here, and I think the Raiders are actually wanting to trade down a little more. And the reason why I say that is that they get a player that they need at 12, but one spot they haven't hit on free agency yet, and it's something that needs to be addressed, is the offensive line. Yeah, Incognito's 36, Hudson at 30. There's also been trade rumors for Gabe Jackson, so I think that's where you really want to hit with your next pick. And 24 is a little rich here to draft an interior offensive lineman, but again, same thing with the Patriots. I think that an NFL team that wants to trade in that mid-20s range, why not trade with Minnesota and avoid New England and the Raiders? Just a hunch. So with the 24th pick in the 2020 NFL draft, I got the Vegas, it's so weird, the Vegas Raiders selecting Cesar Ruiz, offensive line out of Michigan. Now, if the Gabe Jackson trade does go through, a lot of times with Raiders, there's smoke, there's fire. He's a plug-and-play guy. He starts day one opposite Incognito. However, if Gabe Jackson stays on the roster, then you see Cesar Ruiz maybe as groomed as a Rodney Hudson replacement. Maybe he replaces Incognito. You can use him all over that interior, so you don't have to label him to a position. I think the Raiders would rather trade down and get him later. I don't think that's an option here. You already get, in this mock, you get a 2021 second. Plus, you have 3 picks in the 3rd round, which you can use to booster your team. But I think here, even though it's a little higher than I think the Raiders want to get, this is the only offensive lineman, interior offensive lineman, I think that will go in the 1st round. So even though it's a little rich, it fills a need. And if the Gabe Jackson trade does work, it's a plug-and-play guy who's going to start day one and really is a great fit for you. So let's just recap here. Pick number 21, I got the Eagles taking Henry Ruggs, wide receiver out of Alabama. 22, Minnesota will take Yetur Gross-Matos, defensive end out of Penn State. 23, the Patriots are going to take Patrick Queen, linebacker at LSU. And 24, the Raiders are going to select, I'm going to call him offensive lineman because I'm not sure if it's going to be the center or guard, more than likely guard, Cesar Ruiz out of Michigan. And look, this is just my opinion. I made a video. I'm offering you my opinion. This is what I think. Picks 1 through 20 are on the thumbnail. Check it out. So these are my first 24 picks, but ultimately I'm telling you what I think. I want to know what you think. I want to know what your opinion is. I'm giving you mine. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? How awesome do you think my mock is? Do you like the blue? I'll fix this for the next video, but I'm going to be blue today. So listen. Picks 25 through 28 tomorrow. Minnesota is on the clock again. I'll see you tomorrow.